Imagine you're in love with someone. You can spend the rest of your life with this person. You see yourself having a family with them. So you decide to take the next logical step, propose. Only problem is, you're a woman who's dating another woman. You may think that this doesn't affect you now, but somewhere down the line, someone you know and care about will be affected by this tragedy. Today I want to talk to you about gay marriage and why it should be legalized. I will be talking about the sacredness of marriage along with why it's unconstitutional, why they should be allowed to adopt children, and the benefits of marriage that they are robbed of. To start off, most religious backgrounds will argue that God made marriage to be between a man and a woman only, more specifically for the fact of procreation. But if this was the case, then religious circles would be banning infertile couples and couples who don't wish to have children from marrying as well. As it stands, there are only 5 states in the United States that offer same-sex marriage. Those states are Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont. The rest have yet to join them. But because of Article 4, Section 1, the full faith and credit, which states, full faith and credit should be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of other states. And the Congress may be general laws to prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved and the effect thereof, which basically means that the states have to recognize each other's laws when their own residents are in the states. Unless the state invokes the so-called Defensive Marriage Act, which is basically what I started off speaking about, how marriage is only between a man and a woman, and how sacred it is, and all that jazz. The thing is nowadays, divorce is imminent. A quote from the Americans for Divorce Rate says, and I quote, 50% of all marriages in America end in divorce. It's a pretty high number. The article went on to state that statistics in age that divorce stood are only read the ones that actually applied to the class. So for those that got married under 20, in women, 27.6%, and in men, 11.7% was divorce. Between the ages of 20 and 24, 36.6% for women, 38.8% for men. Between 25 and 29, 16.4% in women, and in men, 22.3%. It also goes on to list the actual percentages for multiple marriages. Like I stated before, it was half for your first marriage. It goes on to be 67% if you get married a second time, 74% third time, and the end in divorce, which is not pretty sacred, huh? Marriage is a commitment made by two people who really love each other and decide to make a life together, which brings me to my next point, gay couples and adopting. Currently, only 4 states permit same-sex adoption. Those are Vermont, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and California. Florida is the only state to forbid gay couples from adopting. The only reason for this is because there was a woman head of a Women's Rights Act, and she decided that gay couples were actually child molesters, and she got the entire state to revoke their adoption rights. Like I said before, there's much speculation that same-sex parents are damaging to the child's upbringing. Child molesters are just unfit parents, when actually they're no more different than heterosexual parents, and in most cases are better than single parents. These people are obviously fit to be parents, but are not allowed. But they are allowed to be foster parents, which in all cases would confuse most people and bring to question, well, if they aren't fit enough to be parents, then why are they allowed to be involved with foster care? The answer is simple, because most of the foster kids are older and those with special needs. They develop a certain closeness with these children, as most foster parents do, and wish to adopt them. These children are hard to place because of their age and their needs, but these couples want them. So why deny these kids a good home? Most Americans would say they're unfit. It messes with them psychologically. People fail to see the facts. Currently, between 1 to 6 million children in the U.S. are being raised by same-sex couples, and only 24% of homes had an actual mother, father, and kids. There have even been studies to prove that same-sex parents are good. A group of sociologists looked at 15 studies on more than 500 children, evaluating possible stigma, teasing, social isolation, adjustment, self-esteem, opposite gender role models, sexual orientation, and strength. In these studies, they took from a couple studies from between 1981 and 1994, which included 260 kids raised by heterosexual mothers or same-sex mothers after divorce. In all studies, they found no difference in intelligence, type of prevalence, or psychiatric disorders, self-esteem, well-being, peer relationships, couple intelligence, or even parental stress. And in some of these studies showed single heterosexual parents with children have more difficulties than children who have parents of same sex. They did better in discipline, self-esteem, and had less psychosocial difficulties at home and school. like they are pretty good parents. But unfortunately, this isn't the only thing they're denied. Along with no adoption, they are denied certain benefits of marriage. These include favorable treatment in tax, inheritance, and insurance status, immigration rights, rights in adoption and custody, decisional and visitation rights in healthcare and burial, spousal privilege exemption when giving testimony in court. I went on to go look at some of the things on TurboTax.com, which certain marriage between heterosexual couples actually get tax write-offs for being married. Okay. Yeah. So, not to mention that joint tax returns pay lower taxes. Filing separately denies you earned income credit if you don't make much money hourly, but overly make a lot. This helps lower the amount of taxes you pay. Child and dependent care deductions helps if you're paying a babysitter to watch your kids while you go off to make more money. American Opportunity and Lifetime Lending Credits, which are basically student loan interest deductions. This is everything they are denying. This is what they are fighting for, equal rights. To sum everything up, same-sex marriage should be legalized on the grounds that two people who have certain rights are able to marry and have the family they wish. Even though certain groups would be angry with this, no one is forcing them to do something that they do not wish to participate in. By allowing them the rights of marriage, this would greatly decrease the number of children in foster homes and promote happier childhoods for them. So remember, the next time that same-sex marriage props come out, think before you vote, because you just may be taking someone's rights away.
So Rachel, what did you think?
I thought she did very well. I like how she gave her outline at the beginning, and then she just followed it through. I would say to slow down a little bit. Like, I can tell you're kind of a little nervous and fumbling with the note parts, but other than that, I thought it was very good. She had really good statistics and examples.
Yeah, the opening is pretty clear. You state what your position's going to be. There's a setup of the secondary claims. That's fine. Your internal signposting is clear, although it was a little mechanical when you're moving to the second point. And I thought the conclusion also seemed rushed. You needed a little bit better summary of what the position was that you were talking about. But I like the kind of exit line that you had. On the content, there's some discussion on what some of the civil or political issues are. You mentioned divorce. I'm not sure why you're spending so much time on the divorce statistics. I don't know what that advances in your argument. The argument about the kids of gay couples in comparison to the kids of single parents, I thought that you had some good statistics on that, although it did seem like some of that data was kind of old. The one study was 1994. So that's 16 years ago. It seems like there would be some more recent information. It was a little confusing sometimes because I've got 4 states permit, 1 state prohibits, and I'm wondering about the other 45 states, and that's a little confusing. And then you've got 1.6 million are being raised by same-sex couples. So I don't know if that means that these kids are adopted, if they are, one of the partners is the natural parent. It just is a little less clear than it needs to be. And part of the reason is, I think, that you are rushing sometimes. You seem to be in a hurry to get through the points, and you need to give us a little bit of time to adjust. Also, we need, I think, a little bit more emotional involvement with what you're talking about. I like the idea of the visualization at the beginning, but that's kind of the last spot where you get to a point where you try and pull us in emotionally. After that, it just seems like it's a bunch of material on some statistics. All right, thank you.